Hey everybody, it's Veruda bringing you another League of Legends commentary. This time I'm going to be playing Riven the Exile. Now Riven is a brand new champion to the league. She's a melee, fighter, bruiser type champion, and she can be played in a variety of ways. You can jungle with her, you can do top solo, but what you're going to see here in this video is me paired up with a friend, and he is a very, very strong support Janna. His name is Soapy. He's been in a lot of my videos, and he's a very high-rated Janna, and he knows exactly what to do to shut down an opposing AD carry, which is the way I think Riven needs to be played right now. She has a very difficult time taking on somebody solo in top lane. Her harassment's okay, it's just not spectacular. She does take a lot of damage, and before she hits some of those higher ranks on some of these abilities, she's not going to be able to deal the harassment and dish out that damage you really need to force your opponent back. After playing Talon so much, it was very frustrating to sit there in top lane and try to force someone away from creeps or try to even get creeps myself when playing this champion, because she is mobile. Don't get me wrong, I don't think she's not mobile. I think that she just has an issue with sustaining herself in a lane. Even if you buy boots and 3 health pots, you're going to have a hard time taking harassment and just dealing with it. I'm running the exact same runes as I do on Talon, the exact same masteries, so I'm going to have tons of armor pins, some defenses, some defensive spec, and I'm just going to be honest with you, I don't think that she's on par where she needs to be. Singe is going to flash away here, I'm going to auto-attack him. That plus my passive is going to be enough to take him out. Ashe flashes down trying to get me. I do have a beautiful shield from Janna here on top of her volley, plus I continue queuing away from her, kind of leapfrogging my way back to the tower after I pick up first blood on Singe. Now, I do think this champion is a cool concept. I like the idea of a combo type champion, but when I play this champion, I feel like it's very similar to Pandemonium in Han. It's just a simple Q, Q, Q right in their face, and then that's exactly how Panda played. You would just sit there and continually knock them back with that. Now, there are some intricacies to this. There is no such thing as a passive in Han, so getting the auto attack bonus from the spammed abilities is something different that Panda will never have. But I really feel with this champion that you can get on top of somebody, you can lock them down, you can do some damage, you can stun with your second ability, but really it's just not enough to take a solo and dominate a lane. Now, I do like playing her in a bottom lane because you can kind of anti-carry. Now, you play her with a Disabler, you can get up on top of the AD carrier's face and just stop them from getting a high CS and just crushing your team going into mid and late game. But you're going to have a really, really hard time folding her into the current metagame in other places. Now, here we see Lee Sin was a little overextended. We're going to continue working on him. I jump 1, 2, 3, there's the knockup, and I'm going to try to stun, but I'm a little too slow. The range on that stun is very, very short. I'll get into that in just a second. I'm in a lot of trouble here. I make my way back towards Lee Sin. He flashes, he shields, he kills the opposing Lee Sin, starts working on Ashe, taking her out, and Sin shows up as he approaches their tower, so he's going to go ahead and take that 2-for-1 loss. That sucks for us, but, you know, shit happens. This champion was presented as a combo-based champion, and it's got some conflicting issues as far as ranges and where things go. Definitely don't pay attention to the footage here. I did not get carried. I don't know what you're talking about. He did not just solo that Ashe for me. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, this champion's all about combos, and that's cool. But when I think of combos, I think of, like, up, down, left, right type shit. I don't think of, you know, Sheen proc every single time I cast an ability, but that is how this champion is meant to be played. If you watch the Spotlight, Freak is very annoying at one point where he talks about broken wings, auto attack. Broken wings, auto attack. I get it. It's hard to do because a lot of these abilities conflict with that. That is the passive. You want that extra AD on the next auto attack after using an ability, but it can be very difficult because of the short range of her abilities. Now her Q. Her Q is a triple activated ability. The first time you're going to leap forward and do some damage on whatever you have the cursor on. It's smart casting. It's very similar to playing Karthus. If you don't smart cast, it may feel a little foreign to you. It's a little foreign to me. I don't use smart casting. I just don't like it. It's a personal preference from playing Dota as much as I have. Some people are going to swear by it. That's your call. You don't have to. The second time you use it, more damage. The third time you use it, it's going to be a AoE ground pound around your champion. Literally, the idea for this champion feels like Mario to me, like Mario 64. You leap once, you leap twice, you leap a third time, it's extra length, extra damage, and you ground pound. It's very, very similar to Mario feeling for me. I don't know why, I don't know what makes me think of that, but that's how I feel. So it's going to be a third time activated ability. Now, the passive only stacks to 3, so you want to get an auto attack after each of those abilities, and that's great. If you can do that and they're not going to run from you, that's fantastic. But the problem is, a lot of your opponents are going to continue moving. So, the way they're trying to compensate for this is that every time you use the Q, you'll also leap forward as you're doing the damage. Riven will actually attack whatever's in front of her if you don't have your cursor over an opponent or a creep. And as you saw in that first clip after First Blood, it actually got me out of the range of Ashe's auto attacks and let me leapfrog back towards my tower. It's good for mobility. Here I go in on Ashe. I'm going to Q, auto attack, Q, auto attack. I'm going to stun with my W, jump on top of her with my Q for the knockup, exhaust, activate my ultimate, and take her down. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the abilities a little bit more and why they conflict. So the end result on the Q is that after 3 of them, you're going to knock back your opponent. The W is a stun. The W stun is a very, very short range, though, so you have this conflicting issue because you are knocking back your opponent. You have to take a couple steps and you have to stun them. Now, you can't get the auto attacks in between there unless you stun, auto attack, then leap on top of them, and then auto attack again. It gets very complicated where it doesn't need to be. I feel there are going to be a lot of players playing this champion not thinking about how to maximize the potential, kind of like Talon, picking up the champion, thinking they're good to go, and just sucking. You're going to see 2 different Rivens. One's going to do tons of damage with one set of items. Then you're going to have the other that's going to do far, far less damage with the same exact items. And it's just going to be because of playstyle. So here, Janna pushes Singe back towards the tower. I do my 3rd Q. It's going to knock him back a little bit further. I get the stun underneath the tower. That was perfect play. Now, the E is a good ability. I wish there was some damage to it, but really all it is you get a shield on yourself and you can dash towards a location. It's not bad. It reminds me of Shen. It's smart casting again. You don't activate it. It just goes towards where your mouse is. Now our ultimate, or R, is very good. It's the Blade of the Exile, and basically it rebuilds your sword. It gives you extra length on your abilities, your auto attacks, everything you'd want. I really feel they get you into an RP feeling with this champion, where you're role-playing as the champion, because I'm so frustrated trying to auto-attack and get in the range of these abilities that when you get the sword back, you're like, hell yes, let's do this dance, let's go right now, you and me. And I don't know if that's what I really want as a gamer, as someone playing the game just to go out there and kick some ass. I don't really want to feel like I'm struggling with this broken sword the entire rest of the game. Now, the secondary activation of that ability is, as you saw there, that forward cone, that damaging effect is an execute. It does more damage the lower they are. Here we have me in a lot of trouble. Janna coming up on the left side, pushing them back. A nice trap from Caitlyn, stunning Lee Sin, which I hid by the trap, and I exhausted Yorick. We're going to take down Yorick. It's going to give us a free Baron, and we're going to push this really hard, really early. And as I was saying, it's an execute. I use it poorly. I'm not very good at it at this point. I feel like if I'm going down, I'm just going to get it off, kind of like Vigorold. But it is a very strong execute in the middle of a team. It does more damage based on everyone's missing health. So as you see here, I go in there, try to initiate, I get a nice stun on Singed, and I'm using it far too early on him. He's only at half, and it only did maybe an eighth of his health. I have one more auto attack on top of Brand. He's going to go down. I'm going to auto attack on top of Singed here. He'll die to my next Q, and we're going to have Lee Sin taken out by a Kali. I feel this champion, I like the kit. I like the idea. I like where it's going. But what I don't like is the feeling of frustration with the range on the abilities. And maybe that's exactly what they're going for, because you're supposed to be this person that's got this broken blade, and the auto attacks and the range on the Q and the range on the W, the range on everything does get amplified when you have the ultimate up, so it feels less miserable, but throughout most of the game you do feel miserable when you're trying to get these abilities in. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and drop this champion under this Garner category. I don't think it's a bad champion. I like the kit. I like the idea of it. I think it's fun to play. Now, I say I'm miserable, but I do enjoy the spammy aspects. I like jumping around the map very quickly. I like when you activate the ultimate that you feel so powerful, but the problem is there's so many drawbacks to this champion and conflicting issues that unless they're addressed, I don't see her having a very good position in competitive play. Alright, so let's get back into the game footage. As we still have Baron, we're going to take out that middle inhibitor, and that's going to end the push for us. This champion really does well jumping on a certain person. So here we had a dragon kick Lee Sin back up to the left side. We have an ult from Caitlyn coming in. I'm going to go towards Brand. I dodge the Ashe arrow totally unintentionally. I'd like to say I meant to do it. Brand stuns me. Lee Sin is caught in a very bad position. He gets flung by Singed here. He is exhausted, so he's not going to get away. But Caitlyn's going to make him pay for it. She auto-attacks him to death. And we have a Kali who has the biggest balls I have ever seen. He is just hanging out here. He gets a volley and a bit of damage from Brand on top of him. I leap towards Brand, I do the knockup, I get the stun. Soapy bursts him there. Janna, way to go picking up that kill. I like seeing supports get kills. We've talked about this earlier. So here I am in top lane. We push this in. Looks like Singe is pushing, but he's rather low, so I'd like to sneak in there and get that. The problem is Ashe is there. I'm just going to wait and see if anyone comes across. And as I'm waiting, Singe does show up. I blow my ultimate, and I double Q on top of him, and he goes down. Here I am in top lane again. I've still got the blue buff. I'm still kind of hanging around. My greed is going to get me killed. That's what I say here in Vent as I'm making my way towards these guys. And then Akali jumps in. She gets Ash arrowed, plus the brand stun, plus Singed in the middle of everybody. I jump on top of Singed. I am 1, 2, 3 Qs, plus the stun burst. That'll take him out. Brand flashes towards Akali, takes out Akali. I get right out of tower range. I try to execute him, get a little bit more damage. Caitlyn's going to come in and do some auto attacks. I'm just kind of dancing around back there, around 250 health, as I see York coming up from the right side. And I'm kind of afraid of him, so I start moving in there with my Qs. I'm going to exhaust him. I exhaust the Ghost because I fail at this game, and I am terrible, but that's okay. The middle inhibitor is back up. I'm going to start working that one down. Caitlyn's zoning Brand out. Caitlyn is doing awesome. I don't know if she stole that skin. I have no idea about that. All I know is that she's doing really, really well in this game. Brand ultimates. I jump in there a couple times. I do not do any damage. I jump back out with a shield. Lee Sin shields me, so the double shield is enough to protect me from the damage from the Brand passive. Caitlyn tries to flash away. She gets flung by Singe there, and we're going to go ahead and make our way out here towards the bush and back out. Come back for another push and try to end the game. Alright, so now that middle and top inhibitors are down, we're naturally going to go for the bottom. I'm trying to zone out this Ashe here. If I see an opportunity, I'm going to go in 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to stun. I get stunned from Brand, plus an exhaust from who knows where, probably Ashe herself, and I make my way back towards the tower because it looks like we're going to pick that up. We see Akali and Lee Sin go straight back in on Brand. I'm going to slide in there, a little bit more auto attack damage, take him down. I do still have the ultimate up, so I'm feeling very powerful. I see that York is a little cut off from his team. Janna has a nice slow on him. I jump in there with the Qs. There's a knockback. There's the stun, and I'm going to continue auto attacking an ult from Caitlyn. My execute plus another auto attack will take him down, and we have Ashe in the fountain who's just kind of, sitting there taunting us. So I did end the game at 11, 3, and 9. It was a very good game. I had a great babysitter in bottom lane. I hope you enjoyed this commentary. This has been Veruda. If you have any questions, please shoot me a comment or a message. If you'd like to see more from me, go ahead and subscribe. And if you like the video, obviously click the like button. I'm not trying to deter you from picking this champion up. I definitely am not trying to say that. If you've got the extra IP, get out there. Pick her up, play her, make the judgment for yourself. I'm just trying to release this video early so that you can get a hands-on view of what's going on and an opinion from somebody that's played her. So thank you very much for watching again, guys. This has been Veruda, and I'll see you out there.